Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 34 of our Journeyman series here on Football Coach College Dynasty. And it is an exciting time. Had you told me that we would be national champions, I may have believed you, to be fair, based on how we did in the season. But I think there are two important things that we have to praise. For those of you that missed last episode, you've already been spoiled on it, but nonetheless, go back, watch the episode, see how we did in the playoffs. Very, very good performances. And even you look, and it's not like we had a cupcake schedule along the way. We beat number 4 Georgia in Athens, beat number 1 Ohio State at home, beat number 20 San Diego State at home, and then en route to the playoffs, beat Georgia again, beat Clemson, and then beat number 2 Alabama in what was a kind of like blowout in the way. We just got off to such a hot start in the first half. I think credit must be given to our running game. Like one of the most dominant running back room performances I've seen, with both Moises Myers and Alvin Calhoun getting close to 150 yards each. Even Pankey and Jude Allen getting a touchdown. If you would have told me that Jude Allen would be scoring touchdowns in the national championship game, I would have assumed that like two of our running backs were injured and the sky had completely and totally fallen upon us. But fortunately, it did not. I made the decision to stay at Fresno State for one more year. My argument being, first of all, not many schools were interested in us. Really, Oklahoma was the top school, and they have had a very bad sim this season to the point where, let me find Oklahoma in the SEC in this database. There they are. Like, Oklahoma has been like the most average team, slightly above average, made the playoffs a couple times, win the bowl games. They keep they keep being interested in me. So I decided to stay at Fresno State for one more year because I believe that this team next year has a very good chance of going back to back. And I think regardless of if we achieve it or not, I will be leaving Fresno State after next season for hopefully greener pastures. But we shall see. To that end, we have a not insignificant amount of players wanting to transfer from last year's team. There were 13 potential transfers in total. At the moment, I am only keeping 4. And I will walk you through those at the moment. So the big one is Ricardo McLeod, who we essentially redshirted this season. He did have to come in a little bit due to injury, played 3 games, had 5 catches, 53 yards. The reason we really need to keep him is my wide receiver room at the moment is significantly worse. With Preston Diallo going for the draft, McDonald graduating, same with Huber, I am now left with Camden Gibson, Jared Wells, and that's about it in terms of returning production. And neither of them played in more than 40% of snaps. So I need to keep McLeod to sort of fill out that group. I'm also not entirely averse from bringing in another wide receiver in the transfer portal. Elliott Finch and Xavier Bonner have never really played. The latter, Xavier, has really good potential, but his route running is a 62 and his catching is a 78, and he's had 3 different development periods, and it hasn't even gotten up to an 80. There is a non-zero chance that if Brian Graves gets a great development hit, he is going to play as a true freshman as our 4th wide receiver, which is slightly terrifying. The second of my staying transfer players is Charlie Phillips. So this one I went back and forth on. And it pretty much comes down to the fact that I like him slightly more than the guys beneath him. So Charlie Phillips is a really good pass blocker, can't run block at all. That's okay. I would trade pass blocking for run blocking ability. Ari Bell is in that similar sort of area where he's got good strength, good pass block, but a bad run blocking scheme. Philip Ramsey, I think, is well rounded, but he's not particularly great at any one thing. And, Charlie Phillips just got all conference. He's developed pretty good. His last development period, his strength went up by 8, and his run block went up by 5, and pass block went up by 6. If I get a similar gain after an all conference season, he will be like a mid 80s overall offensive lineman easily. So I think that is worth the NIL payment of $880,000 to keep him. At the moment, he's penciled in as my 5th offensive lineman. He'll probably be competing with Philip Ramsey for that spot. But again, I'm not against bringing in a transfer O lineman. Preferably, someone who is either a sophomore, going to be a sophomore, going to be a junior, because I'm losing my top 3 O linemen after next year. We need to offset that a bit. The other offensive player I am keeping is tight end Jermaine Pugh. This is simply down to the fact I lost both my 1 and 2 tight ends to graduation, and Warren Lima is an offensive lineman. He's not a tight end. So I need to bring somebody in. Jermaine Pugh, to be fair, doesn't have terrible numbers, but he's not great at any one particular thing. He's an okay blocker. He's got decent speed, but his catching is a 73. That needs to go up. My hope is, since his production went up a little bit, he got a couple touchdowns, that he will be rewarded with a good development hit to his catching. I'm a little apprehensive of that. Tight end is probably our biggest need going into the transfer portal. I don't really want to play redshirt freshman Jake Finch, though he can catch. He is the slowest tight end I've ever seen, but he can catch. And then finally, the last of potential transfers I am looking to keep is linebacker Dorian Little, who played pretty well last season. 5 tackles for a loss, got a sack. Not great coverage numbers, which is a little surprising, judging by his 81 zone coverage. And similar argument to Charlie Phillips. I like him more than the guys beneath him. Michael Finley is going to transfer, and then both Anthony Cardi and Braden Valentine have barely played. Braden Valentine, I think, will have a role next year. His numbers are pretty good. His athleticism is just terrible. So this is also insurance against that. And Dorian Little will likely be probably our 4th or 5th linebacker next year. So he may very well want to transfer again. But I think keeping him for 1 more year is worth the $700,000 price tag. So those are the 4 of potential transfers I'm electing to keep. Let's talk about the ones we're losing. Muhammad Langston, backup kicker, no harm, no foul. He deserves the start elsewhere. He should. Troy Potter is a depth defensive lineman, played in 16% of snaps, got a sack, forced fumble, but he's going elsewhere for his senior year. Alvin McCoy and Seth Rashid are both 2 cornerbacks that they didn't really play this year. They're not going to play next year. They have good potential. They'll likely be starters elsewhere, but I don't need them, and I'm not going to pay, $800,000, or in Rashid's case, probably offer snaps to guys that'll be, 4th or 5th in my corners. Similarly, defensive lineman Eric Tidwell played 18% of snaps, couple sacks, handful of tackles for loss. I'm just disappointed he didn't develop well. His potential was B as a recruit. It has since dropped to a C+. And after that first development boost, his tackling hasn't really moved. His pursuit hasn't moved. His block shedding has exploded. he's going to have 100+ block shedding as a junior, no question. But there really is no role from him here. He's not very athletic. His tackling needs to get better. So we're going to let Tidwell go um, and probably be a spot starter elsewhere. Matthew Finley, as I mentioned, our last starting linebacker on our depth chart, got a couple tackles for loss, handful of pass breakups. He's going elsewhere to play his senior year. And then two backup quarterbacks. First, Khalil Maloney, who never saw the field. He redshirted and then was our third court QB this year. I think his IQ is good, but his arm strength needs a lot of work. He's never going to be a runner, which means you need that accuracy and the arm strength to get better. Keith Fields is also going. So Keith was our backup QB for the last 2 years and totaled 64 passes, 44 of which were complete, 68% completion, 400 and something yards, 6 touchdowns, threw a pick. He's a solid QB, but as long as we have Philip, he's never going to be like a starter. And in terms of development, he's done really well. However, his potential has gone down a lot since he was a recruit. So there's a non-zero chance that, he finishes as a senior with like a 75 overall. Just kind of a sad state of affairs. So we are going to let him go and hopefully start elsewhere, though I imagine he'll be a backup again. And then finally, running back Jude Allen, who this year had 44 carries for just under 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, including, it must be said, a touchdown in the national championship game against Alabama. Jude Allen, he's your classic running back where all he can do is just run with the ball. His speed has not gone up at all since he was a recruit. His ball security went up by 7 and then went down by 2. He's a receiving back that can't catch. Just no real reason to keep him, especially when spots aren't really available. At the moment, in our running back room, we obviously lost Moises to graduation. So we have Ivan Calhoun up top, Samuel Pankey backing him up, and then we'll need a third running back. Probably going to be Damon Taylor as a redshirt freshman. Could even be Maximus Roy Ball if he gets a really good development hit. I'm not that interested in bringing in a transfer running back. If I do, it would have to be a younger guy because next year both Calhoun and Pankey are gone. And so there needs to be some succession plan there. That said, as I discussed, I'm gone after next year at Fresno State anyway, but it's just nice to help out whoever's my successor. So our scholarships currently stand at 75 out of 85. So we have 10 spots open. I have no uncommitted recruits. This is the first time like that's ever happened. I should do jumping jacks. So we're only going to go after some transfers. And overall, I think the team's in a pretty good place. I think we clearly need another wide receiver so that Elliott Finch or Xavier Bonner don't play a ton. We clearly need a starting tight end because, to be frank, we don't have a capable tight end really right now. Just doesn't exist. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I would like to bring in another top linebacker. Edwin Cole's going to be a senior. 5-star recruit Marlon Madden is obviously going to play. But after that, there is a big drop-off. Nicholas Stafford likely won't develop all that great because his potential is bad, and he's a JUCO. So Jordan Little might play a lot, is the moral of that story. The other positions I could see myself dipping in if I decide to go into the transfer portal for a third running back, might not be the worst idea in the world, or if I decide to bring in another offensive lineman. At the moment, though, I'm kind of against it. I think next year I want to be the year where a lot of these redshirt freshmen play, so I don't lose a lot of them to the transfer portal. But those are our transfers. Let's save in advance. and see how our guys do in the draft. I have faith. Is that misplaced faith? Probably, but faith nonetheless. 10 players from Fresno State have been drafted. Give me the list. Jason McDonald and Pierce Ray go in the first round. Definitely deserved. Riley Neal, second round. You left after 1 year and you didn't even go in the first round. What's the point, Riley? Preston Diallo left early. He goes in the second round. Good call. Both offensive linemen, Tony Sparks, and defensive lineman Emmanuel Hayes go in the third round. Fourth round defensive lineman Calvin Medina. Disappointing senior year aside, he still put up really good numbers. Fifth round, Cherry Chase and tight end Joaquin Wilder. And in the sixth round, Johnny Huber has been drafted. That is spectacular. I am going to take the time and add some guys to the Ring of Honor. Looks like McDonald has been added already. Pierce Ray is in Fresno State's Hall of Fame, which is definitely deserved. One of the best linemen I've ever had. Riley Neal, I'm going to be honest. Had he been here for 2 years and put up this level of production, he'd be in there. But only 1 year. Get out. Preston Diallo, I don't think is going to go in the Ring of Honor, though he had a really good senior year. Strong performance from him. Tony Sparks, I was going to put in the Ring of Honor. The game put him in the Hall of Fame. Fair enough. No complaints. Great O lineman there. Emmanuel Hayes, I am going to put in the Ring of Honor. I think just his production at defensive line, getting double-digit tackles for loss, 24 pressures this year, insane. Got first team All Mountain West D line. Definitely needs to be in there. Medina, I think if he plays better his senior year, gets in. Cherry Chase, I think needed a little bit more production in the early years. Joaquin Wilder, I think if I have him as a recruit and he plays for me for 4 years, he might get there, but he didn't do that well his junior year and overall kind of shaky. My heart wants to put Johnny Huber in there just because the fact that the highest he ever was on the depth chart was his redshirt freshman year. And then I just had to drop him because recruits came in and transfers. I felt so bad for him. And you know what? The heart wins out. Johnny Huber to the Ring of Honor. I don't really know if that's deserved, but so be it. Transfer portal is out. The highest player in the transfer portal is a 93 overall kicker from Vandy. Okay. Fair enough. Didn't expect that one coming. Here are your Hall of Fame inductees. Obviously, Tony Sparks and Pierce Ray are guys. Ring of Honor inductees is a long list. And then your record holders. Ivan Calhoun, 26 rushing touchdowns for the record. All right, let us advance to the transfer portal. And I think for this video, we're going to get through the transfer portal. We'll get through most of the preseason. I'll get my recruiting set up, and then I'll finish the preseason off stream so that next video we can just start in on the season. But first, very simply, who is most interested in coming here? All right, we got a lot of hundreds, so we won't be shy of talent. In terms of overall, obviously outside of the kicker, 89 overall, Julian Guy from Texas State from UTSA. What an interesting player. I don't really want to get... I guess actually getting a senior wouldn't be a bad thing because then it would go probably Gibson, Wells, new guy, McLeod at 4. I don't mind that idea at all. I'm talking myself into getting a shiny wide receiver. Why am I looking at recruit rating? Overall, please. So in terms of interest, I mean, all these guys are top of the list. I mean, did he redshirt or did he play at OSU? Oh, come on, OSU. Played in 7 games, 2 targets. You all. I hate him. Redshirt sophomore Tate Fowler looks pretty good, but I mean, 1 year of Julian Guy might be worth it. What did Tate Fowler do at Kentucky? Not much. Looks like he was buried on the depth chart, which is a little annoying. Okay, what about top guys for me? Alan Petty. It looks like the game thinks he would be good. Oh, his speed is a 78. Oh, no. I'll pass on that one. Colton Talia's speed's even worse, a 73. Ooh! Benjamin Schwartz, JUCO player. Didn't play that much at Utah State. Oh no, excuse me, he did. I was looking at his rushing numbers. Interesting. I mean, speed of 98 is really nice. We're already insanely ahead on him. And this would save me the headache of having to go after like players that I'm closer to. Jude Edwards similarly ain't bad. Never really played at USC though. Hmm. I mean, on balance, it's Schwartz. I think Schwartz is going to be our wide receiver get. I'll get him for a year. It'll probably be, I mean, Gibson's going to be our number one wide receiver no matter what. So it's either Schwartz or Wells for number two, which I don't think is a bad spot to be in. Tight end. Yeah? Yeah? How far ahead? The speed of 69 is a little shaky, but even, I mean, A minus potential, like, his catching is what, an 87? I'm not going to do better than that. Donovan Bradley also looks pretty good, but his route running isn't nearly as good. Yeah, I think you go for Wiley. He's also a pretty good run blocker, which I'll take. See, how are you 265 pounds, but your strength is a 61? Make that make sense. All right, so there's our wide receiver. There's our tight end because we're already what? We're going to be 800 points ahead on Wiley without even doing anything. So, linebacker, talk to me. I want somebody in the high 70 range, preferably someone who's not going to be a senior next year. So that gives me Maddox Shields. The interest isn't that high, but he's very low. He just doesn't want to play in the SEC. I respect that. Oh boy, his coverage ain't great. Really good tackler. Athleticism is shaky. Miles Deanne's similar issue. Caesar Ford is just bad. Wow, 95 tackle as a redshirt freshman with bad potential is honestly very impressive. I almost want to go for him just to fill out the depth. Um, actually, yeah. Let me do so. Well, no. Yeah, I think it's between Miles and Maddox. Honestly, Miles, I could move to D line if I really wanted to. I could get both and move one to D line. Hmm. Actually, man, I'm looking at Luis, and it's calling to me. I mean, yeah, Sean is just the best, but his athleticism is bad, and I don't need like a top heavy linebacker. I think what I need is just a mid 70s guy. I'm almost tempted to go for both and just move one to D line and see how he does. Because Jaden Ingram is going to play. Devin Allen's going to play. I have my top four D linemen already locked in. So it might not be a bad idea to get two and then move them to D line. But ooh, now there is a D lineman if ever I've seen one. Isaiah Metcalf, 99 strength, 92 block shed. Interest is 100. Get in the building. All right, so that solved that issue. So now I'm going for an actual linebacker. And I think of the options, I would prefer. I mean, 76 tackling from Miles is just low. Whereas Maddox, his potential is worse, but he's much better defensively. I think I go Maddox. All right, so that's four. So now, very simple question. What are some high potential younger players that would want to come to me? Specifically, just give me freshmen. Just give me freshmen that would debate. Bradley Chang, Baylor, did you play him? Oh, he redshirted. That could be a good one. Bradley Chang. I'll add him to the list. Drake Sharma. Did he play at Maryland? Yes. How dare that? I mean, I like him, but he's not going to get the playing time he wants, even if I don't add another transfer guy. Lots of safeties want to come here. A random 62 overall O lineman. Colin Beasley for running back? I think I have to look at running back now. Yeah. Let's just let's just take a peek. Let's take a peek. Oh boy. Not a lot of running backs, it would seem, that want, yeah, no. Not a lot of running backs want to come here because they know the playing time just isn't there. But that's not really going to stop me from looking at some of these mid 70 high potential guys. Oh, yeah, I'm so far behind. Okay, never mind. Maybe it will stop me. Yeah. And at that point, I mean, I'd have to offer money to guys that are marginally as good as what I have. Yeah. I think we punt on running back. Unless, I mean, whoops. Hmm. Yeah, I think we're more or less going to just stick with what we got now. Okay. So I have five identified. So Bradley Chang, in terms of my safety depth chart, he would be my third safety. And that means Salvador Lane would probably want to shiv me, which is fair. I also haven't hated the idea of moving Elliot Pope to corner. I think my corner group is okay without that addition. Yeah, and Jaden Aldridge, I need his tackling or his zone to go up. Please, please. So I think it's fine that I go with those five. And then, yeah, yeah. And then we're going to move Isaiah Metcalf to D line. I think that's my determination. So wide receiver, tight end, D line, linebacker, safety. Those are our sort of starting contributor options taken care of. But now I have five other options, so I'm going to go back to my freshman list and just see if there are any other lower overall guys that could be worth the grab. Not really at running back. Gunnar McCormick might not be the worst idea in the world. He's pretty well rounded. And he has good enough potential where something could happen there. I'll see if he wants to come join. Mario Smith, did he redshirt at West Virginia? Yes, he did. Pretty good zone corner, but bad speed. Let's get him in the building. See what shakes out. So I got my corner. Trenton McDaniel. I'm pretty far behind on. All right, let's change it from A to a B. Justin Dale, you want to be a star? I have bad news. Amir Yancey, your speed is a 67. Need I say more? Yeah, and I don't think it's worth it to take kind of a Hail Mary punt on any of these running backs. Caden Doss, listen. No, he's terrible. But you know what? No, he's bad. I nearly talked myself into it. Landon Garcia, I'll take a shot on. 69, 62, 63. I lied. I'm gonna take a shot on Caden Doss. Why not? So I need two more just for the heck of it. Are there any QBs that actually want to come to my school? The answer is probably no, but my QB room right now after Philip is just decimatingly terrible. To the point where some of these guys might not be awful. You are a 4-star recruit who's just not very good. But I'm almost tempted. 4.6 million to this dude? Oh, if I had that much money to burn. Hey, look, it's Khalil Maloney. Oh boy. Yeah, but I mean, what is max market value that I'm gonna have to pay him? Yeah, no. I'm not paying nope, not paying that. Not doing that. It's crazy that the highest interest guy is a 48. I almost want to go for Evan Bird. I don't think he's that bad, but like compared to what I have, I might as well play the guys. Justin Gates would be the guy, but I mean, I'm 1,200 points behind. And like he cares most about playing time. He's not going to get it with me. So that more or less dooms my entire scheme. I'm talking myself into a mirror, Yancey. I don't think I should. Because like he's similar to I mean Braden Morris is terrible. Well, let's be clear. Ty Dillon looks like he could be okay. Taylor's gonna be there, Roy Ball. You know what? Let's bring him in. Let's do it. And then one more player. Do I go for a third kicker? Probably not. Look at all those awards. My God. There's a redshirt freshman too. For the heck of it, actually. Are there any high schoolers that like for whatever reason just haven't committed and would still be interested in me? Oh boy. Yes, and they're all like 1 star. Let's go 3 star. Just give me some potentials. Well, this is a sobering list, isn't it? Do I go for the 60 overall F potential dude from Oakland? You know what? Get in the building. Oh, this is a terrible idea. Okay, so priority order doesn't really matter here just because I'm only going after 10, but if it were to shake out, I think that's the order I want. All right, we're going to offer everyone a scholarship, obviously, including the F potential defensive lineman. But you know what? His tackling could be like, a 75, and we could be in business. So just remember that. Next, I want to do points ahead, please. Just to get the most points I can. Cool. And everybody still gets a lot. Good. All right. I'll wait and do NIL next week. So let's advance. All right. Am I insanely behind on anyone? No. Okay. So for NIL, I'm just doing the 1.3 million. My God. All right. I'm just doing the 75% of market value so that I don't get a debuff, which I should be able to afford as long as no one is like somehow worth $5 million, which would be very sobering. Don't get me wrong. Do 60. Does that say 4 ahead? Wow. All right. So it looks like Gunnar McCormick's going to be a fight. And finally, Mr. Amir. Okay. So with all that NIL spending, I have 3 million remaining. That said, just looking at the points ahead, I might offer more money to Isaiah Metcalf, but other than that, should be okay. Because I'm getting 975. Stanford also did target player instead of a better pitch. Genius decision. I think I'll offer the minimum in terms of money and then just see how it shakes out. So let's advance one more time. All right. Did I fall behind on anyone? No, but Liberty nearly caught up. Okay. So, which of my big transfers does not need more money? Okay, I doubt Nebraska can offer more. It's a lot of money. All right, looks like the AI offered money last week, so let's see if I need to do anything more. I doubt it, but let's see. Okay, so Nebraska would need like a 1,500 point pitch to overtake me for Wiley. I don't think they get that. Stanford, who has offered money, would need a like 1,200 point pitch to get me on Metcalf. I don't think they get that. Colorado would need to do another 1,000. I doubt they do that, and then I'm not gonna offer money to any of these three. If I get sniped on Mario Smith or Gunnar McCormick or Caden Doss, that's fine. Maybe it's worth it to invest a little. Nah, Smith can't tackle. So I think it's a question of do I put more in Cheng and Metcalf just to get them, just to guarantee it. Extremely and extremely. Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll just keep the math simple. That gets me. Nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Remember this: if Colorado does like 1,500 point, 200 point pitch, where I famously said, I'll be fine. But I think I'll be fine. Okay. Money has been disseminated. We're going to keep 3 million for next season. Just roll into it, which I'm okay with. And we are going to roll the dice. Let's see what happens. On to signing day. All right, first things first. Benjamin Schwartz. We are the only school interested. Come on down. He's going to be either our number 2 or number 3 receiver next year. Really good speed guy, great catching, also sneakily great ball security if I ever need to do some end arounds. Tight end Caden Wiley, Nebraska not only couldn't keep up, but they got jumped by Minnesota. So we have a new number 1 tight end next year. It's going to be Wiley 1, Pugh 2, and then I'll figure the rest out later. Isaiah Metcalf, come on down. Stanford did not have enough money to make it close. He is definitely getting moved to defensive line. That goes without saying. He's got 99 strength, 92 block shed. His overall should increase. The pursuit's a bit low, so it might not. But Metcalf, I think, immediately slides in as probably my number 4 D lineman. So that's a good get for us, even if it is only 1 year. Maddox Shields, come on down. Florida offered $1 million at the death, and they were still 1,400 points away, which is kind of crazy. But we get Maddox Shields for 2 years. He wants to be a star, so I may put him ahead of Stafford in the depth chart. But he's a great tackler, good IQ. Obviously, the big concern is his athleticism is bad and his coverage ability is non-existent. I don't think I'll move him to D line though. His strength is too low. All right, so this was one of the big question marks. Mario Smith goes to Fresno State. Liberty got within 100, but we get the zone specialist corner who cannot tackle. I'm sure that's fine. Bradley Chang, come on down. Colorado ran out of money to offer. We get a very good young redshirt freshman safety, since Baylor only played him 4 games. Thank you, Baylor. Who probably going to be our number 3 safety, which feels a bit awkward with such a high overall, but it's a good problem to have. Gunnar McCormick goes to Fresno State. Arkansas State lost out by 90 points. That feels kind of rough. He had a better chance of playing there. He's just going to be a depth tight end for us. Hopefully, with a good development hit, his catching will go up, as will his blocking ability. Caden Doss signs. So we get a depth O lineman who I'm not expecting him ever really to play. But if his potential goes up, his strength goes up, you never know. Could be a good depth piece. And then Amir Yancey, come on down. Running back with good ball security skills, but bad speed and strength, even though he is a power back. Him and Maximus Roy Ball will probably fight for that 4th running back spot. And then finally, I took pity on Mr. Xander here. Defensive lineman, 59 overall, F potential, terrible athleticism. However, high 60s defensive ability in the big 3. Maybe his potential goes up to a D+. You never know. So yeah, very likely I release Xander after his redshirt freshman year, but who cares? So we get everyone we sent out to sign. I think we definitely got better. Offensive gains. Defensively, I think it's kind of a lot of bridge guys in Shields and Chang, but no real complaints. Our team recruiting ranking is number 1 with 5 5-stars, 4 4-stars, and 10 3-star prospects. My signing of 2 2-stars, including our kicker, kind of brought down the average. But great gets all around. Number 1 recruiting class. I can now retire. All right, let's go to the school updates. So, first of all, we got an achievement to making calls and dropping bags, secure the number 1 recruiting class. Huzzah. Okay, first things first, everything took a hit, which was a little bit painful. In terms of earnings, we got all of our donor goals, which is good, and then our scheduling out of conference balanced out to a wash. So, first things first, we pay off our debts. All right, second thing second. I just want to confirm something here. So, yeah, there's no difference between 9 and 10. So if I go to 11, that gets me A, and I get the extra training boost. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Let's just max out facilities. NIL, I'm going to be honest, I really only need 12 million. I give myself 15 just sort of to cover. Stadium, I'm okay with that falling to a 9. I think all I'm losing is 10,000 seat capacity, which I'm okay with. College life, I think it's time that we reinvest some of that money to get that back closer to 13. Marketing, we're just going to spend a little bit to get back to 7, and then academics spend to get to 6. So I have 4 million remaining. Let me just put that into college life. So I think we max out facilities in exchange for dropping 1 level of stadium. I think that is more than fine. And then that 3 million that we saved in NIL definitely helped that. So, all right. So prestige, we're staying at a 9. We do not go up to a 10. Stadium goes to a 9, facilities 11, college life stays at 12, marketing at 7, and academics at 6. All in all, our school level goes up by 1. Booster updates, please, another Diamond Dura Gold. Please. Please. For my sanity. Please. I insist. I don't think this game likes me. All right, so we stay with a diamond, two silver, and five bronze. You're telling me we have won we have won the national championship two times in 3 years, won the Mountain West seven times in a row, and you're telling me with a straight face that I'm stuck with five. It's fine. It's fine. Seems a bit unrealistic, but I digress. All right, realignment I'm not going to do. I did get a comment about realignment in my previous YouTube video. I think since I'm only going to be at Fresno State for one more year, I'll just stay in the Mountain West. And then if I go to when I go to a new school, I even start a new save, um, may change some things around and such. But for now, we're keeping it pat. Okay, schedule configuration. So I'm definitely keeping the Georgia and Ohio State games. Here's a question. Can I flip them? I'm just going to put Stanford there as a placeholder. Can I do Georgia in week 6 and then OSU week 1? Yes, perfect. That is my preference because now I get an away game week 1 and then Georgia home game of 6 is good. Because I'm not going to have as many home games this year. We do play Air Force this year. They might give us a game. San Diego State, they're going to be pretty good. The fact that San Diego State finished outside the top 25 is a bit silly. Okay, I'm not going to play ULM and lose $6 million. Since Georgia and OSU are a wash, Bama is the only team that'll make me money. Notre Dame and Baylor would be zero. I think though I want to face another SEC team. I have not played many. I did play Tennessee in the national championship game 3 years ago. So let's run that back. Let's schedule Tennessee home. So that gets me home games against Boise State, Air Force, and UNLV for conference, then out of conference, Georgia, Tennessee. I think that's fine. Yeah. And that gets me a couple of SEC opponents and obviously OSU. I like that out of conference a lot. And with that said, it is time to advance to 2035. I think I'm more in favor after this year of just going to a new team as opposed to starting a new save. Because I do really want to see how this Fresno State team does with the AI at the helm. It's also going to feel weird recruiting players to a team that I know I won't be in. But I think it is time for a change, and that helps. Okay, position changes. I have two written down. First, Warren Lima. What is your overall as an offensive lineman? It is a 70. That's a bit low. However, I move him to O line. His strength is going to get a decent boost, if not in this development, in the next one. So I think I do that. He's definitely going to redshirt, obviously, and he should help out there a bit. Okay. Yeah, I think a good call keeping Phillips. And then linebacker Isaiah Metcalf is an 81 D lineman. So he goes ahead of Caleb Hampton. And we know Devin Allen is going to play because he had a great season last year. Jaden Ingram going to play his first JUCO year. That really lifts our D lineman room, I think. It does make our linebacker room a little shaky. If one of our top guys get hurt, we're going to see a lot of Anthony Carrier, Braden Valentine, which I don't think is really a good thing. Do I want to move any of the safeties to corner? I think not Sellers. Hope could do it. I mean, that's the problem. Like corners, I mean, they're not going to play. And especially because Ramon, Colin, and Javier are all seniors. So it might not be the worst idea in the world to move one of the younger guys to corner. I could move Bradley Chang to corner, and then he would compete with Jaden Aldridge for reps. And I don't really have a zone specialist at corner, and Chang would give me that. Let's do that. Let's move Chang to corner, and then he will compete with Jaden Aldridge for that fifth corner spot. It's a little harsh on Aldridge, who was first team all freshman corner last year and had a pretty good completion percentage against. But I think that also helps kind of future proof the corner room a bit. So, and that makes the safety room cleaner, which I think is good. Okay, those are the position changes. Now we advance to off-season gains. I think the two big positions we need to see gains. Firstly, I would like one of Taylor or Roy Ball or even Yancey to get a big development hit to make my third running back more tolerable. And then the second position is I'm counting on a decent amount of these high potential depth O linemen to take a big step up. So let's see what we get. Off-season gains. Everybody cross your fingers. Let's see where we land. If Philip Cato gets, or Cato, I'm always going to mess it up. If Philip gets like a +6 or higher, I think I do jumping jacks. Feels like my determination. Honestly, a backup QB, if O'Connor can have a good development, that'll be nice. Because right now I don't really have a backup QB that I trust. That is the downside, of losing both your backup QBs to the transfer portal, but good problem to have, really. Okay. So I see a lot of 11. I see an 11. Okay, QB, hit me. Oh, Prince Philip. That's what I'm going to call him now. Prince Philip with a +5, +10 to IQ, 8 accuracy. Need I say more? Need it. If this kid declares for the draft, I'm going to cry. What a QB. My God. His ball skills and speed didn't move up. So I I think I'll leave the option game in the past and just punt on that idea. But that's pretty good. Aaron O'Connor goes up by 2. His accuracy goes up by 5, but his IQ doesn't move. Arm strength doesn't really move. Angelo Purvis, he's just bad. Like, yeah, I think Purvis is. I'm gonna redshirt him his first JUCO year, and then I'll let the AI coach next year decide if they want to cut him or not. It's just a Hail Mary, really. So Aaron O'Connor, I think, backup QB next year. Running back, +7, Maximus Roybal. Welcome to the third running back room. As his ball carrier vision up to an 82, ball security to an 89, +9 speed, +10 strength. There you go. Roy Ball is our third running back. Ty Dolan also went up by 5. However, I'm still going to redshirt him since my top 2 running backs are both going to graduate anyway. I want to get him an extra year development. Damon Taylor +3, not great gains. 4 speed and 9 evasion is good, but ball skills didn't go up by that much. So yeah, I think it's Calhoun Pankey and then Maximus Roybal, despite only getting 21 carries next year or last year. He's going to be our third running back. That's really good. Amir Yancey, the transfer we brought in, by the way, +3. Ball security only went up by 1. Not great. All right, wide receiver. Woo. Okay. Okay. Finch and Bonner went up by more than I expected. All right, so Gibson's up to a 90. His catching goes up by 4, speed up by 2. Wells catching up by 6. That's really good. Speed's now 103. Benjamin Schwartz, the transfer, +5 speed, 4 catching. We like to see that. Ricardo McLeod, after his red shirt, his catching doesn't move. Yeesh. That's rough. I mean, speed goes up by 3, evasion +8 is nice, but man. Okay. And he's promised 25 targets. He'll get that as wide receiver 4 pretty easily. Elliott Finch +6 catching, 9 route running is pretty good. Xavier Bonner. What is it going to take for your catching to improve, sir? He has 99 speed and 101 evasion, though, which is nice. Brian Graves, good gains, 5 to catching and route running. He's obviously going to redshirt. And then looks like solid gains for some of our more depth options. I take that back. Spence, I should just cut him, I think. All right, tight end. +7 for Jermaine Pugh and Jake Finch, who redshirted last year. Gets much better at blocking. Jermaine Pugh, 86 catching, 83 speed, good blocker as well. Okay. Suddenly I'm more comfortable with my tight end room. Caden Wiley, the transfer, goes up by 4, good catching, ball skill gains, but no athleticism gains, which is a little worrisome. Honestly, I mean, I might start Pugh over Wiley. Yeah. In fact, I think I will. Like, Pugh gives me better athleticism, better blocking. The only thing is he's a much worse route runner. That's fine. Jackson Marquez, the recruit, goes up by 6. Big athleticism, blocking boosts. All right, looks like he's going to be a really tight end for the future, which is good. Gunnar McCormick, the transfer who just grabbed, well, his catching went down by 1. So that's bad. Hashtag analysis. Ethan Addison hit the weight room. All right, O-line, here we go. Well, okay then. 13 Philip Ramsey. That's a 1 and a 3 next to it. Plus 14 strength up to a 91. 15 run block up to a 93. Well, okay, Prince Philip. Hey, remember when I paid Charlie Phillips $800,000? I mean, there's my 8. There's my 8 lineman right there, from White to Bell. Done. Set. Settled. No issues. That's insane. Plus 11 for Eric White also. His strength's a 98. Run block's a 99. Massive gains for a lot of these guys. Warren Lima, who I moved to O-line, plus 11 strength, plus 5 run block. Good call by yours truly. Randy Fisher up by 5. Good. I mean, yeah, that's a really good O-line. That'll do. I think, yeah, Edwin Pereira is the one I'm a little shaky on just because his strength is so low. But other than that, no complaints. Kicker, Nathan Locke, despite winning all of these accolades, only goes up by 1. His punting ability gets better. His kicking ability got worse. What are we doing here? He just put up all those stats and you're telling me he's a worse kicker? That seems silly. Zachary Davidson, our backup kicker, has become more powerful than we can possibly imagine and also less accurate. D-line, I mean, Devin Allen got a big boost, which we saw coming because of his accolades, his production. He's up to 105 block shed. which is nice. Um, yeah, I mean, Brinson is going to be our one, but Metcalf and Allen are going to compete for that 2-3 spot. Ingram, the JUCO guy, I mean, his block shed went down by 1, but his strength went up by 10, tackling by 5, which I'm okay with. He's going to play his first JUCO year. Ryan Benson went up by quite a bit, plus 10 pursuit. I thought that said -3 strength, and I was like, how'd that happen? And then minimal gains from the guys. Tristan Muldrow, the JUCO guy that I redshirted last year, he's still not really anywhere up on the depth chart, which is kind of sad. Xander, talk to me, buddy. Oh, no. Well, good news, his strength and block shed went up by 3. Bad news is his tackling and IQ got worse. It's fine. Linebacker, yeah. Edwin Cole all the way up to a 90, plus 13 strength for the lad. Marlon Madden, the recruit, all the way up to an 89. Maddox Shields, the transfer, really good gains, lots of +6s and +7s. Yep, good call bringing him in. Nicholas Stafford, who we redshirted last year. Great strength boost, good block shedding boost. That'll do. I'm a little worried in how bad we are in coverage. Like, Madden is decent. Cole is But I think Dorian Little might get a not insignificant amount of playing time because of his coverage ability. Like, I'm tempted to play him over Stafford for the coverage. Anthony Carey goes up by 4. He's now a tackling monster, plus 11 to 97. Good depth games. Ooh, Maxwell Williamson, the recruit. Potential goes up to an A. Overall goes up by 5, and tackling is up by 10. Okay. I'm a little disappointed in Braden Valentine's development, only a +2. I'd hope that'd be more. So I think him and Carey are going to fight for that last linebacker spot. Corner, oh my. Oh, Bradley Chugg is never going to play. Jaden Aldridge, after hearing whispers of him being replaced and us needing a zone specialist, his zone coverage goes up by 14. Well, Bradley Chang is definitely going to threaten to transfer now. Oh, boy, it's fine. +8 for Javier, 13 tackling, 14 man. Ramon, 13 IQ, which is great. Colby Minor, 102. He has 102 speed as a redshirt sophomore. That's crazy. Yeah, I think honestly this is going to be the order, and Bradley Chang just isn't going to play, which is kind of rough. Javier Bowen looks okay, but he still can't tackle. His IQ is terrible. Gage Ramsey, same conversation. Mario Smith, the transfer. I mean, he got more athletic. Yeah, I think my sneaky big worry for Fresno State after I leave is the corner position, especially if they're not able to keep Chang, because then you're left with Minor, Aldridge, and a lot of corners that, their man coverage is okay, but they can't tackle. IQ is bad. Safety. I'll take +5. Davion Sayers goes up by 3. His tackling is now a brisk 114. Elliot Pope, the JUCO, big speed tackle coverage gains, awesome. Salvador Lane's going to be our third safety. He looks solid. Fabian Gordon, you're definitely going to redshirt. Need that tackling to go up, though a +10 IQ is good. And then Aiden Bell, my friend, safety numero 4. Okay. So overall gain, the biggest getter, Philip Ramsey with 13, Eric Light with 11, Carrera up by 9, which is huge. And it also says a lot that he needed +9 strength just to get to 73, which is insane. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, no one was a goose egg. Handful of guys were ones. Some of the A plus, A minus guys only getting one is a little kind of silly to me, but I guess that shows it's not necessarily a 1-to-1. Like even this F plus guy, right? His potential went up by 3. So, or his overall round. All right, pretty good gains. Let's save in advance. No changes to the game plan. We do have a new defensive coordinator this year in Kyler Cruz, who was previously at a bunch of schools. But one of the reasons I got him is he's done a lot better recently outside of the year Clemson just sucked. He did okay at Miami, really good at West Virginia. 2 out of 3 years at Clemson were great. And his defense last year did pretty good against us. But we're going to stay with an aggressive man, keep the playbook the same, obviously. This is where we stand talent wise. Everything outside of our field goal kicking ability is comfortably in the mid 80s to low 90s. No real issues there. All right, first things first, let's do our depth chart. So Phillip, obviously at the starter. Angelo Purvis is going to redshirt. Aaron O'Connor backup. Boom, done, easy. Running back. Can you have a two-player QB rotation? You can. That's interesting. All right. Well, these are definitely our 3 starters. Ty Dolan is going to redshirt, and then what do I want? I think I'm going to go Damon Taylor over Amir Yancey, but we'll see how things shake out there. Wide receiver. Okay, this gets a bit interesting. I think I'm almost tempted to put Wells at number 1 over Gibson, just because of that insane speed difference. And he's a better catcher. Yeah, all right. Wells is 1. Gibson is 2. Schwartz is 3. McLeod is 4. And then do I take the other speed demon at 5 or Finch? I think I'll prioritize the speed of Xavier at 5 over Finch. And then Hutchinson will also redshirt. Yeah, I think if our wide receivers, we've had some injury troubles. I think if one of these guys get injured, we should be okay. If 2 guys get hurt, might be in deep trouble. Tight end, Jermaine Pugh is number 1. I'm making that executive decision. Marquez and Addison to redshirt. I think I will play with 3 tight ends because of how good Jake Finch is, and I need him to get some reps or he might threaten to transfer. So, and his catching ability isn't that far off from the other 2, and he's a better pass block than the other 2. So, I think that has some merit. All right, offensive line. Let's just take a moment, figure this out. Warren Lima, red shirts, as will Jermaine Burns. So I'm still trying to figure out why I recruited you. What was Caden Doss's games? I forgot to look. Strength by 7 and blocking both up by 1. Okay. All right, let's figure this out. So the thing that worries me about Fujita is the 76 pass block. So I think I'm going to have Eric White be number 1. And Fujita be number 2. Fowler 3. True freshman, Dallas Chaparro at 4. Or, no, I lied. Philip Ramsey at 4. who didn't play all that much last year. Dallas at 5. Charlie Phillips at 6. And now I have to choose, do I value Ari Bell's strength or Edwin Prayer's run blocking ability? I think I'm going to put Ari ahead of Edwin and roll like that. And then depth wise, Phillips ahead of Houston, I'm fine with. Kind of. I'm not in love with it. Then, yeah, all that's fine. Okay. D line now gets a bit interesting. I think, honestly, Isaiah Metcalf might be number 1. Yeah, like he's got better strength than Brinson. He's a slightly worse tackler. He's got 100 block shed and 100 IQ. Like, I think he's number 1. And now things get kind of tricky. I think Brinson at 2 over Hampton is what I want. And then Devin Allen, why must your speed be so shaky? Or strength, rather. Hmm. I think I'll go Hampton, then Allen at 4, Ingram at 5. I think we'll keep that order as I like. And let me red shirt my 3 guys at the bottom, including good old F plus Xander. All right, what do I want to do for the 6? So Benson has the worst strength in the history of the world, but he's got 92 block shed and 81 tackle, which I'll take over Kyle Sweet, I think. Yeah. And then Muldrow over Sweet. Skylar Murrell, who I think just unfortunately is never really going to play for me. And then Damian Pachenko level out the list. Linebacker, I think I'm sticking with 6. Let me red shirt. Yeah, I'm not going to have a lot of linebacker depth if some guys go down. Because 6 out of 9 of these guys are going to play. Okay. So Edwin Cole, number 1. That's obvious. 2, Maddox or Marlin? I think I will take the slightly worse tackler in Marlin in exchange for a much stronger guy, better in coverage, better IQ. Yeah. And then Maddox over Stafford. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Stafford or Little. Yeah, this is really where I need to figure out if I want my coverage, how far up I want my coverage guy. So I'm because 95 block shed is really, really good. But I think in this case, I'm going Little 4. And I'm taking the guy that's a better tackler, better in coverage. Should I have moved Stafford to D line before his gains? I think if I were the coach next year, I would move Stafford to the D line. Anyway, okay. Then number 6. Yeah, I mean 97 tackling from Anthony Carey that's going to be pretty tough to beat. Even though Valentine's got better coverage, better IQ. Yeah. Corner. So this is rough. Oh lordy. Yeah, I think it's Javier, Ramon, Colin. So my seniors at 1, 2, and 3. Colby Minor at 4. Jaden Aldridge at 5, which means Bradley Chang is the first corner off the bench, which feels insanely harsh on him. 82 overall, A plus potential. Down there at 6. It's rough. That hurts me just looking at it. We're only going to play 3 safeties. And it's going to be Sellers, Pope, Lane, Hayden Bell, first safety off the bench. I definitely cannot afford to redshirt Elliot Pope in his first JUCO year. He's definitely playing. All right, and then kicker is Nathan Locke. Punter is also Nathan Locke, and our return specialist is still going to be Jared Wells. He's gotten Mountain West Return of the Year past 2 years, and overall, he's averaged nearly a first down every punt return. So I think he has to do it. Don't get me wrong, the 101 evasion from Xavier is nice. All right, so that's how our depth chart looks. I think main areas of concern, obviously, if Calhoun or Pankey get injured, the running back room is doomed. And then if one of my top linebackers or D linemen get hurt, the front 7 is looking a bit shaky. But that's my depth chart. Done and dusted. Let's look at the team really quick. So 44% of my team are either freshmen or redshirt freshmen. Only 16% are seniors. However, that 16% makes up 44% of my starters. So, 14 seniors in this class, including 2 running backs. Both my top ones. Handful of O-linemen and corners. D-line. Yeah. So I think as far as... Well, actually, here. First, coach's office. How many draft risks? Don't be Phillip. No! Phillip. No! Phillip, why? Also, Colby Minor leaning toward the draft is terrifying because that means I'm going to lose top 4 corner. Yep. Okay, this is the year to bail. I've made the correct decision. After this year is the year to bail. That's terrible, dude. Oh, really, Edwin Cole? You're a senior leaning toward the draft? What's your other option? Like, what? How can Sellers be leaning towards school? You are a senior, sir. Are you going to try to get a 5th year of eligibility? Okay, so Phillip leaving is terrible. That hurts. I mean, he had the potential with another hit of development or 2 to be one of the best QBs I've ever had. That hurts me. Sellers and Cole, they're seniors. That doesn't matter. Brandon Brinson was a draft risk last time out. And I had to pay him $1.6 million to keep him. So I assume he's gone after this year anyway. And then Colby Minor leaving, that really hurts in terms of our corner room. Because that means 1, 2, 3 are graduating, Minor to the draft. Plus, if Chang transfers out, I feel bad for the AI. Okay, so QB has suddenly become a massive need because don't get me wrong, I like Aaron O'Connor, but he's not. I mean, his arm strength has only gone up by 2 in 2 development hits. His IQ has only gone up by 1. Like that's not something you can count on. So I think quarterback suddenly has become a massive need. And even though I'm not going to be at Fresno State next year, I think it's still good to, recruit earnestly. I don't think we need to recruit really any running backs. I think what Fresno's going to need is to transfer in a top running back to pair with Maximus if he gets another big development hit, and then Ty Dolan, who we assume will be very, very good. Wide receiver, similar conversation. I'm losing Wells and Schwartz, but I think I've got a pretty young core under them. Not great depth. I mean, Adrian Beck is just bad. Similar with Spence. But I think they should be okay. Tight end, I don't think is a need. We're good. They're solid. Offensive line, yes. My like number one rule of this game is no matter how good your offensive line is, always recruit more. Kicker, we do not need. Defensive line, I don't love the depth. So I think D line does need to be recruited. I mean, Eric Green C plus potential, Xander F plus. Caden Trong does have A plus potential, but his strength is a 58. That's going to take some getting up better. And a lot of our, of my top 9 D linemen, all of them, with exception of Kyle Sweet and Ryan Brenson, are gone after 2 years. So that needs to be replenished. Linebacker, I like my depth a bit more. I don't really think that's a huge recruiting need. Corner, yes. Yes. Even though like this looks good on paper, if I'm losing my top 4 guys and Bradley Chang might transfer, I need bodies. Safety, I think we're okay. So yeah, really not that many recruiting needs. So in that case, give me the recommended. He'll do nicely. Let me just scout him one more time so I can see his man. Yep, he'll do nicely. JUCO tight end, we don't need to go after. You are not good. I mean, no, he's good. He's just not a target for us. Malvin Wall, what's the interest difference? Yeah, nothing anything too crazy in the top lists. Jaden Blair, QB, D plus potential. Hear me out. He has a cannon. Ooh, him. What's your potential, kid? Ah, C minus. To be fair, he might still do the job. Get him in the building. And he's loyal, which is good. A lot of safeties when they come visit me. So it's kind of the same time. It's such a great safety room that all these safeties are like, hey, he could be good. See, my fear with like Gibson, right? Gibson, I would recruit similarly, maybe with Lane, and then move them to corner. But I don't think the AI is going to move them positions. So I don't really want to do that. JUCO linebacker might not be the worst idea in the world, in all honesty. Even though it's not one of the needs I wrote down, it wouldn't hurt. Ooh, Isaac, what's your potential? There we go. Found the wide receiver. Listen, so what if he's route running as a 66? He's going to have like 88 speed and 82 catching. Get him in the building. The fact that Arkansas isn't going for this wide receiver from Arkansas is kind of funny. Caden Barksdale, you look like you're going to disappoint. Yep. Ty Elliott, JUCO alignment, you'll do. Wow, this has been a disappointing group. See, Nathaniel Cherry is solid, but he wants to be a star. Screw it, okay. Dustin Welsh, hidden gem, safety, can play corner as well, get in the building. Even though we don't need to do safety, I get that, but wouldn't be the worst idea. F plus, what's the number? I need to know the number. Really? That's bad. But he's not that interested in the other schools. Fine. Angelo Collado might be more interesting. He's not that interested in me. Vince Harrington, no. Ooh, Hellingsworth looks okay. Another QB. I need to just do a deep dive on the QBs. Okay, so that list got me what 9 guys, including this QB. What's your potential? B. Yep. I mean, what's the points behind? I mean, he had 100 interest in Alabama. We'd be so far behind fighting for this guy. Hmm. Let's do it. All right, so that brings the QBs I'm looking at to two. I don't like Lawson. Well, I mean the C minus potential is what kills me. But and I don't want to fight for both guys. So I'll send both to camp and then I will pick one. We're gonna roll with it. All right, let me send everyone else to camp here. This is going to be a light recruiting class similar to last year because I don't need like that much. So we're only looking at top interest guys with okay potential. Jake Best. I mean, I'd need to see a bit more. That might not be a bad break glass in case of emergency option at QB. Weston Carpenter, I'm out on. Like C minus potential plus D minus arm strength. That's going to be heavy to fight back. Carrington doesn't look that bad. Why must Philip want to transfer? Why? 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 So sad. How could he? Is there anyone that I know has a potential? Ooh. I mean, you can't cover, but your tackling's already an 80. Also, you're not very athletic. Screw it. Get in the building. Franklin Winston C speed plus C catching is not a great combo. He does have A plus potential though, but am I already looking at another wide receiver? I am. Okay. You want to be a star, but you're bad. Declan Floyd could end up being something. All right, and now I'm going to do something a bit silly. I'm going to find more QBs that are interested in coming here. I'm going to target the lot, not you. JUCO guy might not be bad. We get the JUCO guys in here. Okay. So I'm going to target all those QBs and I'm going to send them all, assuming I don't know their potential next week, to camp visits so I can get their potential. Because this is all going to be about setting up Fresno State as best as humanly possible for the future. Oh, yeah. And I need to auto the practices and auto assign the trainings. All right, let's advance. I think what I'll do is I'll do the next spring set and then do the summers off stream because I suspect that'll be a lot of boring filtering and such. All right, let's just look at the QBs really quick. Okay. So I'll just scout you to find out your potential. Scout you. Scout you. Scout you. Potential, I don't care that much about on the JUCO guys. Okay. So let's sort this just by overall. Okay. Preston Rogers has 2 F+. He's out. Jeremiah Mosby actually doesn't look terrible, but let me scout each of these guys one more time. I mean, Mosby doesn't look terrible. I'll keep him on the list, but we'll see. Ford, I mean, he's got good arm strength, but his IQ is going to be terrible and he's got bad potential. Get him off the list. Jake Best is just a better version of Mosby, so Mosby goes off the list. Tate Owens is. I mean, he's a hidden gem, but is he? I don't really think so. Get him off the list. Lane Lord. Lane Lord could be interesting. His potential is horrendous, don't get me wrong. But if that accuracy is like a 78 and the IQ is like a 72, I could maybe work with that. I'm going to send him to camp and Christopher Jarvis. Ooh, never mind. Jarvis, you're just off the list. Zamon, you are a dual threat guy. Honestly, wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. But his accuracy is a D+ with bad potential. No. Kareem Boyd. I'll send him to camp. Ooh, never mind. Well, I'll send those two to camp. All right, so I mean, that's 6 QBs. I think the interest difference in Dane Garcia is going to be too great. Like 100 for Bama, 87. For me, I think that's too much. I think Caden Lawson, I could fight because I'm at a 94. And, Georgia's one of the interested teams. However, that means if Ohio State beats me, then they're going to get a bajillion points for Lawson, assuming they schedule him that week 1. Yeah. I'll camp visit those 4. I think that's where I'm at. Mentally and physically. All right. And then we'll just give the best pitches I can to the best guys. Make sure no one has terrible potential up here. Doesn't look like it, which is good. Yeah. Isaac DL looks very good. I'll send the guys to camp that I can, just because it saves me on a pitch and it gets me a lot of points. So QB gauntlet aside, I'm looking at 1 wide receiver, 2 O linemen, 2 D linemen, 3 linebacker, 2 corners. I think that's pretty good. I got 3 more camp invites in me. Whoops. Let me go back to the QBs then. You look terrible. Let's get the JUCO guy in there. JUCO guy and kid from California. We're a California school. I'm gonna let all 3 of those attend camp. All right, let me advance the week. And that is where I will bring this episode to an end. I will go through the summer months off stream, sort of get my recruiting stuff sorted. The unfortunate bombshell that Prince Philip will declare for the draft after his second year with us makes me want to weep and then die. But it is what it is. So we'll play that out. And I think really the only goal this next season is, can we become back to back champions at Fresno State? At the moment, I am leaving Fresno State after this season 100%, no matter what happens. I don't care if we win the Natty. I don't care if, we get bounced in the playoffs after the first round. I think a change of scenery is good, and I want to see, just how this team does without me at the helm. So we'll see how that shakes out. But thank you all for watching. Last episode 33, got some of the most views out of any of my videos within the first hour of it going live. So thank you for that. Please remember, subscribe, give the Twitch channel a follow if you want to get those immediate announcements that the video is live. But thank you all for watching. We got one more season at Fresno State, and then we go where the wind takes us. See y'all next time.